Hello everyone, this is Diamond Suri from Canwings Consultants Private Limited. Welcome to my weekly YouTube session. I did one yesterday, but that was particularly with reference to the Inlingua Academy. And today I'm going to share updates and talk a little bit about Australia migration. So my topic for discussion today will be South Australia nominations. Since South Australia is usually the first state to release its occupation lists and come up with the nominations, open up the application portals for nomination, and I've usually seen that a lot of applicants are absorbed in South Australia, so it's a good idea to give you an overview of this state. So what I'm going to be discussing with you is basically historic. Whatever's been happening in the past up till 2019, now there's a fair possibility that when South Australia comes up with its occupation lists and revised criteria in November end for the nominations that are expected to open up in December, they come up with something entirely different. I'm not in a position to judge that at this time, but going by what it has been like, you can probably expect the same to happen this year. So first of all, I'm going to quickly talk about DAMA. That was a news release yesterday. We have been getting a lot of phone calls from our clients. Some of them seem super excited about the fact that the age limit seems to have been increased to 55. And some of them are very happy that a lot of occupations have been listed on the list that was released, occupation list that was released yesterday. So they think that, wider occupations are now available. So please let me put a bummer to it. First of all, DAMA is an entirely different pathway. It is a pathway in which an employer nominates skilled and semi-skilled workers to fill up the skills shortages in designated areas, in regional areas. So states have their agreements for nominating skilled workers. So this is DAMA is basically a program in which you need to have a job offer, you need to be employed by an employer, and then you can move on with your application. So essentially, DAMA is not something that is going to affect you. It is not going to affect 491 or 190 applicants. It's an entirely different pathway. It is a pathway in which wider occupations are available, and interestingly, many of the occupations that are available under the DAMA are not even listed on any of the lists of eligible occupations for 189, 190 as well as 491, such as the STSOL, MLTSSL as well as the SOL. So if you go through the list, you'll see a lot of occupations which you've not seen before, and you can see a lot of relaxations in age limit and so on. But please rest assured, this program is only for those who have been employed by an employer who is sponsoring them in South Australia. Now I'm going to talk about various other pathways through which you can be nominated by South Australia. So the next pathway would be the business migration nomination. I'm not going to get into too much details about it because my focus is primarily on skilled migration here. So the next pathway is South Australia offering nominations for those applying for 190 occupations. Now I've seen in the past that when South Australia's occupation list is released, and okay, I'd like to quickly just mention here that if you click on the link occupations for South Australia, you'll probably see a note written on the website saying coming soon. So please understand, whatever criteria is mentioned on South Australia's website at this time is not going to be the criteria that is going to be enforced once the occupation lists for 491 as well as 190 are released in November end or early December. So 190 nominations are usually given to very limited occupations because when the list is released by South Australia, there's usually a caveat that says this occupation is eligible for nomination, but only for 491. So for a lot of occupations, you might see your occupation there on the list, but it may have a caveat that it's not available for 190. So I see a limited scope for 190 nominations with South Australia. Now 491 is the nomination that gets the chunk. We have a much wider list to look at for 491. it seems that South Australia is very, very keen to nominate applicants under the 491 visa. So that is the visa you really need to look forward to. So now when I'm talking about occupation lists, please understand the difference here. When I say that South Australia will be releasing its occupation list, I do not mean to say that the immigration department is going to review its occupation list or come up with new occupations. We already have the main occupation list, that is the MLTSSL, the STSOL and the ROL in place. When I talk about a state occupation list, I'm talking about the state specific occupations which will be put up by the particular state for nomination. So each state is going to have its own occupation list. They may pick up different occupations from the main lists and invite applications for those occupations. So 491 being a nomination pathway to look forward to, you should very, very seriously consider this as an option. And after this, I'm going to talk about a high point criteria pathway. So South Australia also has another pathway through which it can nominate the occupations, which is called high point criteria. Now, under this pathway, South Australia invites applications from those who have a high point score on their EOI, that is on their expression of interest. Usually it's about 85. It could be different now. I'm talking about 85 points. Now, the advantage with the high point criteria is that even if your occupation is not listed on South Australia's list of eligible occupations, or it is placed under what you call the special conditions, you can still go ahead and apply for a nomination. In fact, we have got visas for a lot of clients who have got their nominations from South Australia under the high point category. So if you look at the list for South Australia, you will see that, you know, the occupation is not available for nominations, but since those applicants had a high point score, they were able to get a nomination and subsequently apply and get a visa as well. And having said that, I'd like to also tell you here that for certain occupations, when the South Australia will release its occupation list, it's South Australia's occupation list, they also again put some caveats that a specific occupation is not eligible for high point categories. So when the list is released, you need to see, in case you're planning to apply under a high point criteria, you need to specifically look into the fact whether the particular occupation is available for high point criteria, or does it state next to the occupation that it's not available for high point criteria. And the last one I'm going to talk about is the chain migration. Now, chain migration is a very unique nomination opportunity that is given to applicants who have immediate relatives living in South Australia. So again, if your occupation is not listed on the South Australia's list of eligible occupations, or it's under special conditions, but you have an immediate relative living in South Australia, you can be eligible for getting a nomination. Now, a little bit of clarification I'd like to give here is that unlike the family sponsored visa application, chain migration nomination is eligible only for those who have their immediate relatives. For example, under the family sponsorship visa criteria, you can have your cousins and so on sponsor you, but in this case, only your immediate relatives like your brother, sister, and so on. And also under the chain migration, the primary applicant has to have the relatives living there. The spouse's relatives living in South Australia will not make you eligible to apply under the chain migration. Whereas if you apply for a 491 family or relative sponsored visa, in that your spouse's relatives are also eligible to sponsor you. But under chain migration program for South Australia, the applicant, the primary applicant, has got to have his immediate family members residing in Australia. Only then can one apply under the chain migration. So I'm going to now quickly wrap this up here. Please let us know about any questions that you may have for South Australia nomination. Let me tell you again that South Australia has a very exhaustive list of criteria and very meticulous documentation. They like you to file. Any kind of error in the documentation can lead to an outright rejection. Therefore, it is recommended that you do route your application through an experienced migration agent, so that you're not able to make any such blunders. And also, word of caution here that since South Australia nominations are in a lot of demand, people watch out for the application portals to open. A lot of times, some of the occupations are available open only for a few minutes. I know it sounds very scary, but they're only available for a few minutes, and you have to ensure that you lodge your application ASAP, because those applications are taken up on a first come first serve basis, and not preference is not given to those who have a higher score point, but those who are able to lodge the application and then subsequently meet the criteria are the ones who will finally get the nomination. So our number for any queries will be 78498, and you can email us on canwings@gmail.com. That is CAANWINGS@gmail.com. We'll be very happy to answer any questions for you. Until next time, goodbye and take care.